Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So, what have we been doing? So we've been clearing this room because we really need somewhere to work from, like an office space for editing, to keep stuff a bit clean. Stan's got his nice piano, so we're just making this room a bit more usable, less dirty.
Yes, so Sadie will continue cleaning, I will continue putting electricity, then we pass back on the windows.
Yeah, so I need to sand some of the windows off and give them a first coat of primer paint. Stan's going to do electricity, aren't you?
Yes, so now we will continue, like when we do this, so parallel task, then we go back to structural. The aim is to finish structural and go on the roof.
Yeah.
Also, you know why we are making office here, because you know every day or almost every day I have to go to my office. That is 1 hour driving from here, so I lose 2 hours to go to work the computer. So here we just need internet, electricity, so I can stay here while doing engineering job. Otherwise, for manufacturing, it will be there, but you know I will have to bring everything more or less like near here somewhere.
Yeah. So we're just making this room a bit cleaner, usable for Stan and for editing videos. So it's all very important stuff. And then once we get around to doing the roof, that'll be the next big job. And then also we're going to start doing some windows. So while Stan is doing other jobs that I can't really help you with, I can do the windows. So Stan's been teaching me how to do them properly. And yes, I'll do that. So windows will be getting done, and eventually the roof in the next couple of weeks, months.
Well, our deadline on 28th, 29th of June, we will have here like an official visit. It's called Days of, how do you say, Patrimoine? Patrimony, yes. Days of Patrimony here, so we'll get an organized visit here of some officials.
Official people. So
official people and some like visitors, guided tour. So we will have to prepare, and the downstairs must be really like done for the visit. You know, for sure it won't be finished.
Just not a building site.
And so we need to start the roof this time.
Yeah.
So structural and.
So at least with the roof done and the windows done, the building is watertight, and then we can fix any issues with when the roof's being done with the guttering. That's why a lot of windows will be ruined and stuff like that. So lots of structural work, but also lots of little random jobs in between. So
people who asked about slates. Slates will be unpacked and the names will be put when we start the roof. Don't worry. As well, I would like to repeat about mugs. People, as you can see from the comment, people receive mugs. Just it takes me every day quite much time to make them, but I do them for each mug. I have to do 3 customs declarations.
Let's get to work.
Let's go. Go see you.
No, these chairs are too comfy.
Okay.
Go to sleep.
Okay, whatever. What do we have here? Here we have 2 pairs of wires. See, they were using like 3 phases cables, but they were using them on 2 phases. Okay, I will just use this one to plug and to see if something happens. If it doesn't, I will just use the other one. Let's test. Well, I'm using this and this to strip the wire. Like both are wire strippers, but this one is more convenient. This one is like very rough. Probably good for some flexible cables on cars, but not for these cables. Here I just put the limit until where I want the cable. Just put it inside. Need to maybe. Why doesn't it close? It does, like this. Okay, the other one like this. Well, that's very strange. Why aren't they used here? Because normally we need two, but those that we use here, it's only the plus and the phase, like and yeah, the two phase, like one phase, one phase. It's very strange, but whatever, we'll have to try. So I'm trying to find where the electricity enters this room, because here we have a switch. This switch must work. So there are two cables, one going up, another going down. But where the electricity arrives to this room, we don't know. We don't see any.
Right, so we are sanding all of the wood filler that has dried now, and then I'm just going to make sure that it's all like if there's any little gaps that need filling, because obviously we put it quite rough on here, but now I need to use sandpaper by hand because it's on a curve, so I can't get the flat electric sander on it. So we'll get it all nice and smooth, and then we'll see if there's any little gaps that need filling, and then we'll be ready to put the first coat of underlay on. So that's what we're going to do today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got sponsored by some dating app for people, and we got this called a stud finder. I think it can be useful for ladies going on blind dates, because check out this tool.
Zero. Oh, 2 centimeters.
He will immediately show you what to expect. I'm really not sure of what I do, but okay. So maybe these cables were used because they were using like double switch somewhere. So probably the mess that is going here must be somewhere else. So this one was used just for the switch. Let's see if it works. So I looked downstairs how it went. it arrived just here from the basement. And you see even a little wire like this, what cut by people who call themselves travelers. So I will just, well, restoration is when you get finally pissed off. So you have to just do like this, like as you want. So I'll just put in new wires here. It will be easier than trying to find old ones and do something. You see, so 4 cables were arriving here from somewhere, and they are quite loose. So the arrival was here, and you can see the original color. It wasn't like this, it was probably like this. Check this out. Okay, now I need to find the place underneath this room. So we'll go to the basement. So see some magic. I pulled something and it went out. I was looking for. Now I know where it is. So we localized exactly where these wires go, and finally the wiring sham is obvious now. I know how electricity was arriving in this room. And also I discovered something else. Have you ever heard about centralized Hoover? It was something from the beginning of 20th century, like in some big buildings. They were installing somewhere a, well, Hoover, for I think correct to call it vacuum cleaner. They were installing these machines in the basement and they were sucking dust when they were on, and so you just had auto plug a a hose somewhere to the hole in the wall, or otherwise you would just move all the dust to a special like hole on the ground. So here, this one is not something we were thinking about, or maybe it was before, because before for cleaning they were using this little of hose with a little, like, how do you call it, fence here. I don't know, not fence, but something to cover it nicely. In other rooms there's something that we still like have. But here underneath you can see the concrete, so they concreted it. And so finally it was something that allowed us to localize precisely where we were and to find the wires. We'll go and see now. So this was a centralized Hoover. Downstairs you can see its arrival. So the Hoover was downstairs, they were putting everything on, so in all the rooms from these holes the dust was sucked, and the person who was cleaning just was wiping everything to this hole, and then the centralized vacuum cleaner was collecting everything in the basement. Let's go in the basement and see. So I saw where it comes here. There was 3 wires that were feeding all the electricity in this room. Obviously now we will reuse one of them and the rest we will put. And again, traveler people, they stole some, I don't know, very stupidly the cables. So it's really a mess, but we will see and do something. So we localized everything due to this concrete tap. So the vacuum cleaner, central vacuum cleaner, was here. So in this room it was here. There was, you know, exits of this in the library. So in the room we're working actually, we knew that it was a library. Somebody told us. Then in Oak Salon there was also one. We will show you. So we found it right here. You see? Oh, sorry, this one. Yeah. So this concrete tap is for central vacuum cleaner of the Oak Salon. There was third one at least, because there are several, and it's near the staircase. But we don't know where does it go, so we will have to clean and see, but probably later. Well, however, let's now see where the wires go. So the wiring was arriving to the room from this side. So these three wires, those that go to the room. You can see the parquet and you can see the soil that was like poorly restored. So they passed these wires, like removing here the lime that was. You can see everywhere is the lime mixed with straws. It's called torchis in French. And it was used for insulation. So you can see it everywhere, like here. You can see it here where they put some concrete, I don't know why, but whatever. And beams are in quite good condition. But, however, I think this basement also needs some insulation and some cleaning. Well.
Right, so now we are putting the base layer on. Just give it a nice coat. We don't want to put too much on because it will drip. So we'll get one little coat on first, and then we'll get the proper paint, and we'll do a couple of coats with that. And I think they will look brand new, these windows.
I needed to know where the wires go. And here you can see they covered everything with blocks. No chimney above. That's a pity. Okay, now I see two cables going here. One for those wires, another one. I need to see this one, which one it is, and some abandoned cable. And this one, it goes up. But why? Ah, okay, maybe for this light. Now let's see which one goes where. Where is my favorite tool? I really don't advise you doing like this. Putting silicone and then painting silicone for these cables. It's really not good. Like, you know, now in the on the market, in shops, you can get a lot of vintage cables or paintable cables, but these are really not nice. You know, I went to some company called Yes Electric, where they do a lot of vintage style electricity supplies, and there is now you have a lot of cool stuff. So maybe this time they didn't have, but I'm not so sure. But you see, this is really dirty job. Well, whatever. Let's try to do something clean now. Which one is this?
It's the one behind.
Okay, the one behind. And the one behind, where does it go? This one, it goes there. Okay. Now, was it for the switch of this light? And if it's the switch, which one goes up? It's this one. Okay. Okay. I'll get some supplies, we will plug and test. There's some weird stuff following the canals for the cables. We came to this drawer, closet, I don't know how you call it. So we were thinking, you know, we always were told that it was a library here, and this one was a closet all the time. Finally not, because we see there was a hole, and the wall behind this wood is quite recent, and it goes directly to the staircase plan that goes to the basement. So here, the hole that I can see, the cables were arriving here, and then everything was distributed here. Okay, so now no more mystery. And those two little cables, we need to find where they are fed, and maybe I will have to install a distribution box somewhere here. Well, whatever, now we know how it is.
I'm just going over again with a second thicker coat, and then it will be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will see us in the next video. For now, we stop filming, but we continue doing stuff. So, as every time we discover many things that we didn't know about this building, and also what I wanted to say, we got a postcard from '89. You can see on it the building of Panar, and you can see the town of Ernie. It's somebody who sent it from here, Mrs. Cécile Terrier. And she wrote this postcard not to us, but to some game on television. You can maybe win something. and it's written, the phrase is, everything is temptation to those who fear it. Fear it. Fear, who are afraid of. Yeah, that's it. Tout est tentation à qui la craint. That's all.
See you all in the next video.
Yes, and thank you for your likes, for your subscription. See you soon.